Hi, this is Sanjay Sharma from salespathshala.com with post number 38. Today we shall be discussing about the right way to do your follow-ups with your customers. If you can close the sale in the first visit itself, then you're a great sales champ. Many industries and many situations, it is not always possible to close the sale in the first visit, so you have to have a follow-up on the call. A lot depends upon the way you do follow up with the customer. Always remember that you maintain a very professional posture when you're dealing with your customers and you are at your best. Make sure that when you are going to the customer and doing a follow up, there is a rhythm. When you listen to the music, there is a rhythm. So the rhythm should not break. Like when you play badminton, you hit the shuttlecock and from there the shuttlecock comes back to you from court to court, from racket to racket. So the customer calls you, you go to the customer and do the things at the right time, because if the timing is not followed, then things will not work out and you will not succeed and your call will not work. Always ensure that you are maintaining back to back follow-ups with the customer. Never ever break the momentum of your follow-ups. When you're doing a follow-up with the customer, ensure that you are there with the customer at the appointed date and time without any fail. Today we shall be discussing about what is the right way to make a follow-up with the customer. When you have made a call, you have done very hard work and you have done a great job, everything has gone very well with the customer and you are able to create a positive impact on the customer. Now is the time you have to meet the customer again. It's important to have a look at the basic facts of sales processes here. First one is that when you go on a call, there are many calls which close in the first visit itself, but then not all calls close on the first visit itself. So if you can close the call on the first visit, you are a great champ and a lot of credit goes to you. But then most of the time and in many industries, the calls do not close on the first visit. So when the call is not closing on the first visit, you have to go back to the customer again, and that is called a follow-up. So when you are coming out of the customer's place, you have to ensure that you have a reason to go back to the customer again. So when you are going back to the customer again, it is important for us to understand some basic do's and don'ts. First rule is that when the customer has shown interest and everything has gone very well on that call, you have to fix up a time with the customer, and this time has to be as per the convenience of the customer and not your convenience. So if the customer is saying that you have to come on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, that would mean that you have to ensure that you fix the time of 4 o'clock on Tuesday with the customer. Now when the time comes that you have to actually visit the customer, don't make any changes. Ensure that you are there with the customer. First is you note it down in your diary. You take out a diary and when the customer says you have to come here at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, so open up the diary, write down Tuesday, whatever date it is, put down the date and write 4 o'clock. So that would give an indication to the customer that you're going to come back to meet him at the time that you are putting down and you are serious about the whole thing. When you come to a point where you have to visit the customer, don't make any changes in the program. Ensure that you are there with the customer at the given date and time that he has given you. This is going to create a momentum on your call. I have seen in my personal experience that you are focusing on follow-ups and then you are having back-to-back follow-ups which are perfect. When the customer tells you come at this time, you go at that time. The again customer tells you come at this time and you again go at the same time. So that creates a connect between you and the customer starts believing that what you are saying is correct, and that reinforces the belief that even after the sales is closed, you are going to provide him an excellent service. So that creates a very good impression about you on the customer. So this is going to ensure that you get a proper momentum on the call and you close the call. That is one. Second situation is where the customer is not yet completely decided, although the tilt is towards buying the product, but then the customer is not sure whether he wants to buy from you or not. In such a situation, the customer might say that okay fine, I have a number and I'll call you back. Now in my personal experience, I have seen if 10 customers tell you that, not even a single one is going to call you back. So what you have to do is you have to proactively ensure that you are there with the customer and continue with the call. So you have been with the customer, you have tried everything, but somehow it's not worked out well for you. Now you want to come back again to the customer and make another attempt. So in that case, what happens, you need to have something up your sleeve. There should be some reason. You must have a reason to come back to the customer. So maybe there is an unanswered question, or there may be some more information, or a new product launch, or something that is of interest to the customer that's come up in discussion, and you want to go back to the customer again. So you have to ensure that you have something in your hand with which you want to go back to the customer again, and make sure that you fix up a time with the customer. Take the opportunity and tell him that, okay, fine, let me give you a call, I'll give you a call at this time, and then you call the customer and try to ensure that he gives you an appointment, and you continue with the call there. So follow up is that you will take control, and you have to do a good job with that. Third situation could be that your customer is buying from you and everything is going right, and you take the customer for granted. So never do that. Always focus that you come back to the customer and do it in the right way. You have to also ensure that the confidence that you have in your product should be so high. You must know that the product that you are giving to your customer is good, and the value that you are offering the customer is going to help him a lot. So you must have that confidence that what you are committing to the customer, your product has the capability to deliver those kind of features and benefits to the customer. Now when you have that confidence in your product, your confidence will go up, and you will be better placed in providing a very good support to your customer. Right from that, we come to the other point, that when you are having such a kind of confidence, you will also be having a right posture. Never go with the approach of going to the customer and asking for a sale. You have to go to the customer with the mindset that you're offering some value to the customer, and your posture must be very, very professional. You should not come down in a posture. Posture will mean that you're not going down to the customer to get a sale. Posture would mean that you are going there to the customer with something of value, and you have a thought process in your mind that you are offering value to the customer, and the customer is benefiting by your product. So when he's buying the product, you are providing for the benefit of the customer, and he's in no way doing a favor to you. So that's a professional approach of selling, and when you maintain that posture, you are going to be very, very successful in getting your business. Ensure that you maintain that posture right from the very first time you meet the customer, and in all the follow-ups that you do with the customer, whether over the telephone or in personal meetings, and ensure that you maintain a very, very strong posture which gives a lot of professional air about you to the customer. What happens when you met a customer and everything has gone right, but due to the nature of product that you have, or due to the nature of the customer decision making process, normally most sales do not close in a single visit. The best thing is that you close the call in a single visit, but then most of the time the call doesn't close in a single visit, so you have to go back to the customer again. Sometimes the customer has so many objections that he's asking you a lot of questions, and then finally what happens, there is a stalemate kind of a situation where the customer is undecided and you do not know how to go ahead with the call. So then again, it's important for you to have a reason to come back to the customer. So what we are saying here is, there may be a situation where you're not able to close the sale in the first visit, and you have to go back to the customer again. Now let's look at what are the scenarios and what is the right approach to have when you are having a situation like that. First one is, if you are able to close the sale in the first visit itself, nothing like it, you're a great champ, and you're going to be very, very successful if you are able to close the sale in the first visit with the customer. But in many industries and in many places, that is not always possible. So what happens when you have to come back to the customer again? Let's say the customer is not very interested about the whole discussion that has happened with you, and he is trying to avoid you because you're not able to create an impact on the customer. Now that is the time you have to find a reason to come back to the customer. Maybe an unanswered question, maybe an objection that the customer raised, where you have to come back with more information, or there is something else which you want to show the customer. So you have to fix a time with the customer to meet him again. So that is the time when you are fixing up a follow-up with the customer, but that is only to prolong the call and to find an opportunity of closing the sale. Second stage could be that everything has gone very well and the customer seems to be interested. Now there is the next stage of the process that is on, and you have to meet the customer. Now that is the time when you have to understand what the customer is looking at and fix up a time with him that is suitable to the customer. So you have to adjust your timing to the requirement of the customer and not the other way around. So ask the customer what is the most suitable time for him when everything is going very well, and go back and meet the customer at the same time. Never ever try to change the preset appointment that you have with the customer when everything is going very well. So it is very important that you have back-to-back meetings. From my experience, I can tell you that the calls where I had back-to-back meeting with the customers, these were the calls which were very, very successful. Now what happens if you break the momentum? Let's say the customer tells you that you have to come on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, and you call the customer at 4 o'clock and tell him that you are busy with something and you cannot come at 4 o'clock, you will be coming on Wednesday. Now that is what I call breaking the momentum. So if the customer has called you at 4 o'clock, if everything is going right, be sure that you are there at 4 o'clock with the customer. That's going to give confidence to the customer that when at the time of selling the product, you are focusing on fulfilling the commitments, so your commitments will hold value even after you sold the product. So what I have seen is, in the calls where I had back-to-back meetings with the customer without any changes, these were 100% success. So if there were 10 customers and I'm meeting them back-to-back as per the agreed time schedule, these are the meetings where I'm able to create an impact on the customer and the sale is closing very, very fast. Second scenario is when you are meeting a customer and the customer is dodging you, where the customer is not very sure about your product and he is telling you, okay fine, you come let's say on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and deliberately the customer is missing out. You go there and the customer is not available. Those kind of customers also there because they do not have the courage to come forward and tell you that they don't want to buy your product. They are not interested, but they are dodging you. So what you have to do is, such customers, don't repeat your visit. Don't waste your time with these customers. What you have to do is, you have to be there just once, and if the customer is not available, call him and tell him that, sir, I came here and you're not available today. What's the next time I should meet you? And either he is going to give you time or he will tell you that I will call you myself. Now if he gives you time, you try just once again, and if he's not available, then leave your visiting card with the customer and tell him that if you need my services and my product, then you can call me and I am off. Now you will find that there is a disconnect between the two things. I have also discussed in my earlier videos about how to crack a difficult customer. Now that kind of selling, if you are focusing on a customer, you have to be mentally prepared to spend months of time on that customer because you are sure of the potential that the customer has. Now when you're talking about a regular selling exercise, when you are going through the prospect list and you cannot afford to waste much of your time on a customer, then it is always good to drop a customer if the customer is not showing interest. So the call is yours. If you find the customer is a hot property for you and there is a great potential that you have with the customer, you have to persist and crack the customer. Maybe it takes 6 months, 10 months, 1 year time, but then the call is yours. And if you find that the customer is just the normal customer and you're not seeing much potential and you are seeing that he's not showing interest, then you can drop the customer. So following up with the customer is an art, and you have to understand that by putting in very, very focused effort on your follow-ups, you can convert your customers and you can increase your conversion ratio. Today what we have discussed is the proper way of following up with the customers and ensuring that you get a business, and eliminating the customers where they are wasting your time by not fulfilling your meeting commitments. Other important aspect that you have to keep in mind at this point is that all the while you are dealing with the customers, while making a call, while fixing up a follow-up appointment, or going out and meeting the customers on a repeated basis, you cannot afford to lose your posture. Now there are two components in this. First one is the conviction that you have in your product, that your product is very good and you are out there with your product and you are providing value to your customers. You must be completely convinced that you are offering value to your customers. So that's going to give you a lot of confidence that yes, my product is going to deliver what I'm committing to the customers. That is one, which will lead to a very, very good motivation level that you will be able to go and radiate when you go to the customer. Second important part within this set is that you will be able to maintain a posture. Maintaining a posture would mean that you're not going with the attitude that you are needing a product sale from the customer. You are going with the attitude of giving something to the customer. So when you go with the attitude of giving something to the customer, then the customer is going to respect you more than if you go with a begging bowl. So you have to understand that anytime you are doing a fresh call or a follow-up call, or you are working out with a customer, you have to be maintaining a posture with the customer that gives an indication that I am here for business and I am selling a product because I am here to satisfy your needs, and that's the customer communication. If you communicate that way to the customer is going to respect you and you will be very, very successful in closing your sale. So today what we have seen is the way you do your follow-ups, the way you manage yourself when you go on your calls in terms of the product conviction that you have, and also in terms of the posture that you maintain. I am sure that if you practice these things right, nobody can stop you from succeeding. We are ready to go into the market and create a great success story. Good luck.